Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. We're going to begin our service on page 10 with Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Avarachama Mishor Avdach Eretzonach Yarutz Avdach Kimoaya Ishtachaveh Mul Hadarach Ki Erav Lo Yedidutach Minofet Suf Vechotam Yigalena Ufros Aviv Alai Et Sukan Shelomach Ta'ir Eretz Mikvodach Nagila Venismecha Bach Maher Ahuv Ibamoel Vehoneni Ki Yemei Olam Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Yaralai Lai 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 Lai.
We continue together. Lechuna Ranana is on page 11.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria letzuri sheinu, vekama fana betoda. Naria, naria letzuri sheinu, bizmiron naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai.
Bottom of page 12.
Arba'im shana kut bedor, va'omar am tohen levavhem, vehem lo yedu derachai, asher nishbati ve'api, im yavon el menuchati. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo, bazru meyom leyom yeshuato.
ספרו בו עם כבודו בכל עמים לפנות השם.
Page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים.
Yismechu hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים.
Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים.
Yismechu hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים.
Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam.
ירם הים ומלוא.
Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam.
ירם הים ומלוא.
Yismechu hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים.
Yismechu hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים.
Yismechu hashamayim.
ותגל הארץ.
Yiram hayam.
ירם הים. ירם הים ומלוא.
Yiramayam.
Let us turn to page 18, Zamru Ladonai, third line from the top.
Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, b'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei HaMelech Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, b'chinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei HaMelech Adonai. Hiram hayam u'lo, tevel v'yoshveiva, neharot imcha uchav yechad harim yiradeinu. Lifnei Adonai kiva, lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel v'tzedek, ve'amim b'meisharim. Hiram hayam u'lo, tevel v'yoshveiva, neharot imcha uchav yechad harim yiradeinu.
We continue together, page 20, Romemu.
Nay, 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 yay, nay, 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 yay, nay, 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 nay. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
Let us please rise. Mizmor LeDavid is on page 21.
Mizmor LeDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nelim, havu l'Adonai, kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai, כבוד שמו ישתחוו לאדוני מרב לקודש. כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד ירים. אדוני על מים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח. כל אדוני בהדר. כל אדוני שובר ארזים. וישבר אדוני את ארזי לבנון וירקידם כמו עגל. לבנון צבאותיך כל אדוני יחי מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יחי הירוץ ויחשוף יערות ובחלו כולו מרכבות איי אדוני למה בו ישב וישב אדוני מלך העולם אדוני עוז ועמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום ניי 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 ניי
Please be seated.
Ana Vekoach, page 22. If you would, may your mighty right hand undo the knot that ties us up. Almighty, if you would, guard as the apple of your eye those who seek your unity.
Ana bechoach gedulat yemincha tatet serura kaberinat amcha sagvenu tarenu nora Ana bechoach gedulat yemincha tatet serura kaberinat amcha sagvenu tarenu nora Ana bekoach gedulat yemincha tatet serura kaberinat amcha rinat amcha sagvenu tarenu nora Nagibor dorshe yehucha kevavan shomreim barchem tarem rachamem tzidkatecha tamid gomlem Ana bekoach gedulat yemincha tatit serura kaberinat amcha rinat amcha sagvenu tarenu nora Nai 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 nai
We prepare to greet the Shabbos bride. Lecha Dodi is on page 23.
Nai 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad ishmi'anu el ha'michad Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shemu tiferet ve'litkilah ve'echadodi li'ingrakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela ligrat Shabbat Nechu v'nilcha ki mekor abera merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh v'machshava tchila v'echadodi nikra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela mikdash melech עיר מלוכה ומצי, מתוכה וחרב לשבת בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלי כמלה, והדודי נקרא קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, הנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בידי, תפארתך מעל יד בן ישי, והלך מהקרבה אל נפשי גאלה, וכדודי לקרא קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי, כי בעורף, קומי אורי, אורי, שדברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נבלה, לכדודי לקרא קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לא תבושי ולא תקמי מה תשתוכחי ומה תקיימי בככסוע אני עמי ונבנתה עיר אצילה וכדודי לקרא קלה בני שבת נקבלה והיו לשמסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהי כמסחוס חתן הכלה לכדודי לקרא קלה בני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לכדודי לקרא קלה בני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בנה גם בשמחה ובצורה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה
שבת מלכתה
לכדודי לקרא קלה בני שבת נקבלה לכדודי לקרא קלה בני שבת נקבלה.
Please be seated. We continue on page 27, Mizmor Shir Le'om HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר, מזמור של יום השבת. מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר, מזמור של יום השבת. טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני. לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך, עליון טוב, טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, ואמונתך בלילות, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, אמונתך בלילות, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך, עליון טוב, טוב להודות לאדוני.
Let us please rise for Baruch, page 39.
Nine nine na 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 nine 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 na 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 nine nine. Ya na nine 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 ya na nine nine ya na nine. Nine nine na 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 nine 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 na 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 nine nine. Ya na nine 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 ya na nine na 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 nine. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Na 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 na. Ya na 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 ya na 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 na. Na 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 na. Ya na 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 ya na na na. Uma'avir yom u'mevin layla, uma'avir ben yom u'ben layla. Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Amariv Arabi.
Ahavat Olam, page 40.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shofeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismak b'direi Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu uvahem neger yomam v'layla ve'ahavatecha ata sirnu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
בשבתך וביתך ולכתך בדרך ויאמר אל משה לאמור לבני ישראל ואמרת להם בזמן זה. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let us continue now with Mi Chamocha, page 44.
Nay 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 Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot, osei fele, norat tehilot, osei fele. Malchutecha ra'u v'amecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, zelianu ve'amru, zelianu ve'amru. Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed, Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed. Nay 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 nay
Hashkivenu, page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu
Let us please rise. We continue with Bashamru on page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Hatzi Kaddish is on page 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
בעלמא דיברה קירותי ועמליק מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה.
יתברך
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וירמם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה.
בריחו
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה,
תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעולמה.
ויאמרו אמן.
The silent Amidah for Friday night begins on page 47.
finish praying the Amidah, you may be seated. We're going to continue with Shalom Rav, page 51.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We'll say Shalom is on page 52.
Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Kaddish Shalem, page 54.
יתגדל ויגרשם מרבה,
אמן.
ועלמא דברה קירותי ואמלך מלכותי בחיי חוני ומכוני וחי כל בישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ומרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וינסה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקדושה, בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו, אמן. יתקבץ לו תהון ואותהון לכל ישראל, קודם ובהון ושמיה ואמרו, אמן. יהי שלום רב ושמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's really wonderful to see you. I'll repeat what DJ and I said the other day. I think it was on Thursday after Charlie had wrapped some tefillin. I said, it's about time we're due for a simcha. And, there's been, I feel like a lot of tragedy lately, but it's really good to have a simcha. It's really wonderful to see you all in the sanctuary. It's also wonderful to see you at home. I'm really glad to be in community here. Simple best shalom with you all. Allow me for a moment to paint a picture for you. It's a child's birthday party. There's ice cream, there's cake, and there's a lot going on. People are talking, hugging, kissing, missing, exchanging gifts, and there you are with your camera. And you're waiting for the birthday kid to unwrap their gift. And here they go, and you know that this is secretly the toy that they've been asking for the past 6 months. It's wrapped up in shiny red paper, and then they rip it off, and all of the kids at the party make that sound in unison, ooh. You take the obligatory picture, and then the kid holds it up for everyone to see it, and you're there with your camera. You've got to tell the kid, smile for the camera. No, look at me, look here, smile. All right, now say thank you to Grandma. And then out of the corner of your eye, you look at the package of this toy, and you see the 3 words printed on the box that no parent wants to see. Some assembly required. No. By the way, guess who gets to assemble this monstrous toy? You do. Mazel tov. I can see a couple of you are already traumatized by me talking about this. Now, hopefully you are not like me when it comes to assembling children's toys. For some reason, I am always the person that gets tasked with the job of assembling kids' toys. Please know that I am not good at it. I know that I am not good at it. I tell stories about Moses for a living. I don't assemble toys. My wife, she's a chemist. She explores molecules and particles or something like that. She builds elements. Surely she should be a better choice to do this than I, but somehow the task always falls on my shoulders to assemble a toy that is usually about the size of the Titanic and has about 11 million pieces. And so I'm trying to assemble this thing. My kid is so excited and so happy, and he has seen all of the commercials for this toy, so while I'm doing it, he's watching and really criticizing my every move. No, you're not supposed to do it. The head doesn't go there. It goes on the other end. You've got to turn it this way, press that button. No, don't do it that way. But friends, don't worry, because what is included in the box that the toy came with? The instructions. Da, 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 da. Now, typically the instructions I get, I don't know about you, the instructions I get don't even have the English language printed on them anywhere. Maybe they have Japanese, Chinese, Norwegian, Danish. Somebody is probably just printing fake languages on these things. But usually, if you can get to the English section of the directions, there is a Hodson tradition. The Hodson men, this has been handed down from generation to generation, probably going back to King Arthur or something. When we get the directions to assemble a new toy or electronic or piece of IKEA furniture, we make up our own first direction, which is to put the directions aside and only reference them when we absolutely mess the thing up and our wife is mad at us. IKEA furniture is the worst. I would rather make an entirely different set of IKEA furniture than look at those directions. If you go to IKEA, the furniture that they have there looks incredible, but it's nothing like the IKEA furniture that I bought that's in my home, because the stuff in my home has screws and nails in the wrong place and holes where I just whacked it with the hammer to get it to fit together. I did some research, friends. It turns out I'm not the only one who doesn't read the directions. Many people in America don't read the manual. According to Subaru of America, their call center notes that 1 out of every 5 calls regarding the vehicles that they make could be resolved if the caller had just looked at the owner's manual. Whirlpool has announced that they are now including YouTube instructional videos to go along with all of the products they sell, because nobody is reading the manual. According to a 2007 survey, it is estimated that about 95% of all electronics that are returned in this country, by the way, that's $13.8 billion worth of merchandise, 95% of all electronics returned in America are actually not broken. Buyers cannot work them, or they think they are broken. Why? Because they didn't read the instruction manual. So friends, why am I lecturing you about not reading the directions? Well, because if there is a Torah portion that reads like an IKEA instructional booklet, it's this one for this Shabbat, Parshat Truma. Now, unless you're an architect or maybe an engineer, this portion is really kind of dry because it gets into the minute details and the specifics of just about every piece of the tabernacle. It talks about the walls, it talks about the altar, the curtain, the lampstand, the table. There should be a warning at the beginning of this parsha that says some assembly required. This parsha is usually read around this time of year, and if you were a rabbinical student like I was going through placement a couple years ago, everybody was really worried that they would have to drash on this parsha when they went and visited a congregation they wanted a job at. What is there to talk about? There's hoops and poles. It's really difficult to talk about Parshat Truma. Our Christian friends do learn about the book of Exodus. They've probably even seen the movie with Charlton Heston, but I've never seen a movie called Parshat Truma, because that would be very boring. So what has the traditional response been to Parshat Truma? Well, unfortunately, we tend to ignore it. We label it obsolete, and we'll talk about anything else. Anything else. Nobody wants to read the directions, not then, and especially not now. I was talking with a friend of mine who's a pastor. We were on the phone a couple weeks ago, and he kept referring to the Tanakh as the Old Testament. That's what he kept saying. Well, Jonathan, yes, in the Old Testament. Rabbi, well, in the Old Testament. He kept saying it's old, and it reminded me that he thought it was irrelevant, perhaps even boring. What can a set of old rules do for someone? How does it apply to their life? And unless there's a YouTube video about it, they don't want it. One of the things that is described in this parsha are the golden cherubim on top of the Ark of the Covenant that is housed in the Holy of Holies. And we're told that on top of this, eventually this is where God is going to sit. It's called the mercy seat. So essentially in this parsha, we are given instructions on how to make God's chair. We're told precisely how to invite God into God's dwelling place on earth. We're told in this parsha how to access God, how to make God comfortable, and how to interact with God. All of that, what I've just described, is kind of buried within the dense instructions of the tabernacle. So friends, I want to ask the question tonight, what else have we overlooked in the instructional manual known as the Torah? What else have we thought that we knew, but it turned out we really didn't? Now please, I don't want you to translate this sermon as a guilt trip, me trying to get you to read more Torah. Of course, that's every rabbi's dream for their congregation. My big focus tonight is to get us to understand that there are some things that should never be discounted at all. There are some texts where every word should be studied, translated, wrestled over, thought about, argued over, contemplated. And yes, our Torah is one of those texts. Perhaps it's old, but it certainly isn't irrelevant. When we look at our Humashim, it says that the Torah is referred to as an Eitz Chaim, is what's written on the cover, a tree of life. We just have to give this tree space, plant it, and let it grow inside of us. Our Torah is an instruction manual that shouldn't be ignored, because these are the instructions that can truly be life-changing. Shabbat Shalom.
Let us please rise. We're going to continue on page 73 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hasharet, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Charlie Garber is our bar mitzvah for this Shabbat. Would like to ask him to come up to the bima to lead us in Kiddush. We'd also like to invite up to the bima Jason and Cheryl, and of course Jacob. Come on. And Ben, if he had not gone to the bathroom right at this moment, would be up here with us too. Come on. Not because he's driving. Page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu bo mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, bi'achava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'azeh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila, Lemikrai Kodesh, Zeker Letziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu V'acharta, V'yotanu Kidashta, Mikol Hamim, V'shabbat Kodshecha, B'yachava Ratzon,
Hinchaltanu
ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. It's actually very good wine. It's Bartenura. No, do you like it?
He liked it.
Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. That whole piece is for you, Charlie. Woo. No. Charlie, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. You have a problem now. Yeah, there you go. You cannot put it back. You have to take it with you. Look, I want to present to you, Charlie, on behalf of our congregation, our board of directors, our clergy, our members, a very special certificate of a tree that has been planted in your honor, Charles Garber, in the forest of Temple Bet Shalom in Israel. Mazel tov to you and to your family. Hopefully, one of these days soon, you'll be able to visit this tree when you go to Israel with your parents and your brothers. And we wish you a mazel tov, and also we are looking forward to tomorrow morning. We actually can't wait. We're excited. How are we doing for tomorrow morning? Good? Okay. Mazel tov to you, Charles. Let us please remain standing for Aleinu, page 56.
Alheinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כיהי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו ככם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She'enu tishamayim ve'yos ha'aretz yishmesh. Kagatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
Let us please be seated. The following is a list of yortzites of people who we remember with a lot of love next week here at Temple Bet Shalom. Sofia Basbas, Esther Verkovice, Sam Block, Jean Bowling, Leon Brock, Jack and Trotter, Natty Landy Feinstein, Maud Feld, Ralph Finkenstein, Harvey Friedenberg, George Friedman, Rebecca Diane Glicken, Ibolia Gordway, Judy Gerwitz, Samuel Hager, Abe Hodis, Selma Hunter, Rose Heisen, Gustav Kaplan, Andrew Katz, Ann Lewison, Robert Lewison, Benjamin Lipton, Alex Maymar, Rose Mendelssohn, Clarice Nicole, Benjamin Orenstein, Max Post, Sam Racine, Celia Scully, Marie Spencer, Ruth Steinberg, Esther Stokes, Pearl Wenger, Arthur Wiseman, and we're observing Shloshim for David Davidson. Mourners and those serving your side, let us please rise for the Mourners Kaddish, which is on page 58.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra kirutei ve'amlik malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'mechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitzaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Elam mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru
Amen.
amen. Osei shalom imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Amen. We're also, let us please be seated, we're also serving Shloshim for Larry Sachs and Margaret Offik. Margaret was president of our sisterhood some years ago, and on behalf of all of us, Hillel, we send you a big embrace of comfort, a big hug. She was also part of our Heber Kadisha. Margaret was really a living force in our congregation. I'd like to call upon Jared Finkelstein, president of our board, for the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to all of you here in the sanctuary, as well as those joining us online. It truly is wonderful to see all of you. It's been almost a year since we sort of jumped into things here. And as you know, this week they landed a rover on Mars called Perseverance. I think that's also a great way to describe our clergy and our staff here. In the last year, we have not missed having services here on our campus for one day. And it is truly amazing what they have all done. So thank you as we approach, again, the anniversary of Purim. Invite everyone to join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. when Charlie Garber will be called to the Torah. Mazel tov to the Garber family. And again, join us here in person or online for the mitzvah. On Sunday, we have the U.S.-wide drive-through Purim Carnival and Purim online raffle. You can find links to the raffle on social media. From what I hear, it's going to be a wonderful event, and I think the mitzvah store for the religious school will also be happening here as part of the carnival. And then Thursday, from a galaxy far, far away, TBS presents Baby Yoda and Soda, a Mandalorian Purim spiel. It's another not-to-be-missed TBS Purim. This year, you can exchange handing out Mishloach Manot for raising funds for JFSA. The Women's League invites you to help those that are food insecure in our community, and they're accepting donations until Monday, February 22nd. There is also still time to purchase tickets for the TBS Sunday Fun Day Comedy Night, featuring headliner Jessica Curson, special guest John Fish, and hosted by Eric Newman on Sunday, March 7th. This is our large fundraiser for the year. We're not having a gala due to COVID, so please participate in this virtual event. It is vitally important, and it'll also be a fun evening. We have some wonderful auction items that you can find online. Others may be added as we get closer, and bidding, I think, opens in that last week before the event. So please either buy your tickets online or contacting Nicole in the office. And each ticket is good for the entire household. So we've tried to make this as accessible as possible for everyone. If you know of a temple member who's in the hospital, ill at home, or in a nursing home, please contact the temple office to let us know. Again, Mazel Tov to Charlie and the Garber family. Shabbat Shalom.
It's hard to believe it's going to be a year since we started doing virtual services and all these different things.
Crazy.
It's incredible, but like Jared said, we're still here, we are trying hard, and we will keep on being here.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, DJ.
Whatever it takes. Speaking of whatever it takes, we have a really awesome Purim planned for Sunday, our carnival. So please come. You can pay at the gate if you haven't paid ahead of time. Just come. It's a drive-through experience. You don't ever actually have to get out of your car at all. You play all the carnival games from your vehicle, and there's going to be prizes and Cirque du Soleil performers, and there's going to be balloons, and we have a really great online raffle that's already online. So after Shabbat, you can go online and purchase raffle tickets and get some really cool prizes. And
not to steal your thunder, but on Thursday we're having
we're
having the Megillah reading outside for the first time in our history. Just like we have Ne'ilah outside, we're going to have the Megillah reading outside, and it's going to be great.
I saw your costume. I told you.
My costume is fantastic,
it's
DJ.
Fantastic.
Baby Yoda. I only get to be baby Yoda once in my life.
Right. Middle-aged Yoda? I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be something
Okay.
to witness.
And we're not drinking. Maybe we need to.
Yeah, we're not going to drink, but because of COVID.
Because of COVID, right, sure.
I don't know what has to do with it, but we're not drinking because of COVID. Look, we're going to be outside, and we're going to be like in the parking lot. So when we're in here and we pass out, the schnapps, it's like we're in here. But if we're in the parking lot, like next to the cars that people are driving,
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do
that's
that.
the definition of chutzpah.
Right.
So we can't do that. We have to be responsible. That's why it's Yoda and soda.
Yoda and soda.
Yoda and soda. That's very creative.
It's
Jonathan.
John.
There you go. Okay, we're going to conclude our service on page 211 with Adon Olam, followed by our special blessing.
Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Ein Nasav V'Hefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Yiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Ove Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'en Sheni להמשיל לו להגבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור לי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי ונקוסי ביום אקרא בידו אבקיד רוחי והייתי שן וההירה ואמרו כי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Let us at this time come together. If you can embrace the person next to you, if they're in your pod, your bubble, whatever we call it these days, your family. I know. If it's kosher, embrace them. If it's not, we'll embrace each other at a distance and hope for the days ahead when all of these will be behind us. But meanwhile, let us join together spiritually in the beautiful prayer of peace and light.
יבורכך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני פניו אליך ויעשם לך שלום יבורכך אדוני וישמרך
אדוני יעוז לאמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום, שבת שלום ומבורך.
Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam shalom. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam shalom. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.